The final module that we're going to look at today is this get links. So we looked at the web scrape module. So Beautiful Soup was, of course, the project. The web scrape module is what we looked at earlier. And now we're going to look at this get links module. So get links is essentially going to be returning a number of links to us from a website. So sometimes websites have links to many other websites, essentially other information that we might be interested in. So there might be actually a two-step or even multiple-step process where you have to go to a general website that has many data links, and then you get those links, and then you go into those links, and then you begin to then parse those other links. So that often is the case. So one website simply leads to more websites, and you need to get all that information. So how do we actually go about doing that? So the best way to do that essentially is using, again, Beautiful Soup. It's a very simple process, similar to what we just did in terms of actually scraping a specific website in the web scrape module. But now we're going to return these links. And so you can see, once again, we use Beautiful Soup. We're using the Python library urlib2. And here we are then going to a general website. So let's go to that website to see what it actually looks like. So here we're going to go to this finds org database search results. So here you can see this web page with a number of items. So you can see there's lots of items. Let's say we're interested in all those items. And you can see we could even keep going to many. There's over 700,000 records here. So how do we actually get all those records? Well, the easiest way is actually going to the links. You can see that if I go to one of the records, it's actually a link. Then there I can get specific information about that object, including its location, pictures, etc. So that's how we actually get that specific information. We need to get those links that then lead us to those objects themselves. Okay, so that's how one way we can do it potentially. So once again, we have to look at the HTML of the website to see how this is encapsulated, the kinds of information, or how they actually go ahead and encapsulate these things. So if you go to Tools, Web Developer in Mozilla, for instance, you can see then the page source, which tells us the HTML. And you can see the HTML there. And then from there, you can then look at the HTML tags within it and determine what kind of web page this is and where the right tags in relation to the objects you want are located. So it is possible to actually just scrape all the information here. You don't necessarily have to go to those links. But you can see that each of those links has more information, and that's what's actually shown. So you might want to get all the information rather than the summary information that's present in this sort of general page that tells you where the data are located. Okay, so this is one reason why you want to get potentially all those links. So to do that, you go to the general website. So you can see that's located here. Then you open it. So you use the urlib2 library, the Python library for opening a website, which will return the actual website. And remember, that's basically the HTML. And you're going to tell the Beautiful Soup that it's going to be an HTML site that you're going to parse. So you'll get another object called soup, or at least I've called it soup. And you're going to do the find all command. The find all command is telling it to look for all relevant information that has the div tag, the HTML tag called div. And you're looking for the following attributes. It's going to be called type of, and then it's going to have this kind of reference, which relates to objects that we're going to be scraping. So this should return then a number of links basically to us. And so we'll get some chunk of results. Let's see what happens if we just do that. So we do that. And you'll see that when we debug it, we are landing here. So we're going to say find all. So right now we don't have any result, but let's say we do that. And you can see the links have then all these results that have the div tag. You can see the div tag. So if you go into those div tags, you'll see some of them will have the following attributes, type of, and then it's going to have this other part of the description related to the attribute, or this other sort of subtag or attribute that sort of tells you what kind of div is it. So it's related to the kind of description information which provides us the tags then that we are interested in keeping. Okay, so it's basically telling it, Beautiful Soup, to get all those tags, the larger tags, div, and those attributes within them, the div tag, to be returned. And so we have now a bunch of links or a bunch of sets of tags with information returned to us, and we can now begin to iterate over them to get each specific one. Now, notice I'm going to get the about part of those specific sets of information. So you can see that link returns is basically a set of information with a number of properties. It's basically almost like a small web page by itself. There's a number of things in there, some of which is useful, some of which is not. So there are some description there that might be useful. But in this case, I just want the link. So I'm going to go and just get the specific link that I want. And you can see if I look in this, and you can see I can find the about part of it. So let's find about. So you can see that there's something called div, and then it says about. And that about part is where I can get the specific link. So this is the link I want. It's the link that leads to the specific object that I'm actually interested in, which is the link that leads not only to the object, but I can get far more information than the basic summary information that's listed on the general website. So I want that link. I want it returned to me. And so that's basically, I just simply get that attribute from the link. So the link is essentially nothing more than a string, a large string, kind of string with various sets of information in it. And then you basically get that link, or get the part of the link that you want. So it's not really a string, but it's rather, it's more like I guess like a dictionary, which then has other sets of information in it. So it's a tag about, and then you get it, and then you get the specific result of that, which in this case is the link itself. So you can see it's returned here. So what we're doing is getting this dictionary, which has a number of tags within it. You can see if I hover over it, you can see what's in there. It's got this tag, and it's got the div, it's got the UL, the LIs. These are all HTML kinds of tags that are used. And then I can simply get the part that I want, which is the about part in the div tag. So I get the div tag, and then I get about, and then that returns exactly what I want, the link. And that's how you basically do that. And then by doing that, then I can get the link, and then I keep iterating, and you should see that a number of links being printed, and lo and behold, a number of links do get printed. There's a long list of them. You can actually keep going if you wanted to, keep going on the website, perhaps tell it to keep clicking or keep going to other websites to then return more links. So basically what you're doing here is returning all those sublinks, or returning those sublinks that we can see from the website, and or those links, I suppose you call them, that then allow us to get more information about these objects. Okay, so that's how we go about doing all that, and hopefully we will then begin to sort of see other ways in which we can get more information next week, or at least display some of that information next week.